In this video, we'll be covering the last link portal on the student employee resource page, being the additional resources link. By clicking on that link, it'll take you to another web page. And in this video, we'll be covering more of the general information on this page, the information specifically pertaining to COVID-19, as well as information pertaining to the pay schedule will be included in separate videos. Continuing with this, however, the first thing listed that we'll cover is the Student Employment Handbook. By clicking on the link right under that first section, it'll take you to an online PDF of the Student Employment Handbook, and specifically, we'll be covering information listed on pages 3 and 4 of the Student Employee Handbook. The information we'll be covering primarily has to do with two rules associated with student employment. The first rule that we'll be talking about is the unit minimum requirement that is required of all student employees. We do require that all student employees who are undergraduates are enrolled in at least 6 units per semester, and we require all graduate students are enrolled in at least 4 units per semester. There are some exceptions to this rule, being that during the winter term and summer term, when school isn't typically in session, we don't require current enrollment. So as long as you meet the requirement for work during the spring semester, you'll be able to continue your employment through the summer term. And as long as you meet the requirement during the fall, you'll be able to continue your employment through the winter term. However, if at any point during the spring or fall semester you fall below that minimum requirement, you will be subject to termination. So I definitely recommend you keep an eye on your unit load, especially towards the beginning of the year when you're adjusting your schedule for any reason. And if anything does come up, don't hesitate to reach out to HR. The second rule that I wanted to talk about has to do with how many hours you can work as a student employee. Student employees can work up to 20 hours per week. You don't necessarily have to hit the 20 hours, you just can't go over the 20 hours. The only time that we offer exceptions for that 20-hour limit is during when school isn't typically in session. So that's going to include the winter term, spring break, and the summer term. So if you are interested in working over 20 hours during those pockets of time, I definitely recommend reaching out to your supervisor and letting them know that you're available. Moving on to some other general information we do have on the form, we'll be covering some of the voluntary perks that we do offer for our student employees. The first of those listed is the Tickets at Work program, which is a third-party vendor that provides a variety of discounts and deals on a variety of things. So if you're ever interested in checking out what they have to offer, you'll just want to use our company code that's listed in parentheses at the end of that paragraph. Something else that we do offer is the Career and Professional Development Center. I highly recommend this if you're ever interested in any sort of career coaching or resume building. We have their phone number, email, and webpage all linked in this section if you're ever interested in getting more information. And then the last perk that we have listed in this section is specifically for employees who end up working over the summer. If you do work over the summer, you'll be classified as a bridge student employee, which in this bridge student employee classification, you'll be contributing to a part-time seasonal retirement program, which is pretty neat because you get to stash some cash away for the future. If you ever have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to anyone in HR for any questions pertaining to student employment, or if you have questions pertaining to work study, please don't hesitate to reach out to Anna Contreras, who is currently the head of the program, or whoever else will be the head of the program in the future. Similarly, don't hesitate to reach out to Faculty Affairs if you ever have any questions or concerns about academic student employment. Or if you're ever looking for a quick answer to a question you might have, please don't hesitate to check out our FAQ that we have listed at the bottom of the web page.